Welcome to Takes Invest. We're talking about investing, finance for professional women. As the recording time of 2:20 p.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum coin trade $2,540, about 1.55% so far. As you can see clearly on the crypto market and the equity market, we are reviving back up a little bit more than the sell-off that we have seen in the bulk of this morning, right? And in a chronological perspective, the bulk of the selling pressure cultivated around the early morning, right? When the market opened at 9:30 a.m. on Eastern Time, it subsequently drive a fear-mongering sell-off, and then it became like an escalator / domino effect, driving, specifically for altcoin, 2 layers down on a technical resistance level. For the key coins, 1 layer down on the resistance level, right? And seems like across the spectrum, we've come back up 1 layer up to retest back into our consolidated level, or just at the cusp of getting there, right? And with respect to the equity side, we're seeing a comparable affectation, right? We sold down in a similar fashion and subsequently leap back up to the previous, just at the hair of the previous resistance level that we cracked through. So it seems like the market is assessing the situation. Obviously, it was a negative one. It was the big dip was basically driven by the initialization of the war, right? As Russia has officially invaded, it's been invading Ukraine, right? And also at the same time, on a statistical level, we heard that 40 people has been killed so far within the proximity of the Ukraine region, right? And as the day durates, obviously, right, chronologically speaking, Joe Biden has given another speech today, and today it seems like the speech was on time in comparison to the speech that he was giving yesterday. It seems like, based on the digression that we see on the war and the invasion, U.S. alongside all the other nations that is joining forces, UK, and with respect to all the European nations, and they're in discussions with China and India to be joining forces, right, bonding together onto performing sanctions, right? Right now it's the tranche 1, right, directly against Russia, to in a broad effort to isolate Moscow from the global economy, right? So cutting off all their trades, cutting off all their exports, import. Which technically allows for the Russian stock market to tank today. If you look at across the spectrum, a lot of the Russian stocks are down 25 to 40% today. And to do that is to basically put a restriction, right, which in total is approximate to be about $1.4 trillion in assets to be locked down. Basically also to mitigate and hinder Putin's long-term goal on its various different initiatives, right? From their military defense effort to their space effort to their agricultural support effort as well. So by doing this, the whole world is joining forces to fight against Russia directly at Putin, obviously. And as the speech you probably have heard that happened about an hour, like 15-20 minutes ago, it seems like there is no confirmatory signal if this sanction is going to work, right? And something that kind of worries me in a way is that Joe Biden said, and he's kind of scoffed and he kind of smiled at the same time, which I found out to be kind of not the most... I didn't quite appreciate that he was kind of smirking or like kind of doesn't. I mean, like just optically speaking, doesn't take this seriously. That with respect to his verbiage, he said like let's see if the sanction works and we can come back like a month later and we'll figure it out. Something like really just lingering without any confirmatory signal. So it seems like we're definitely taking more of a reactive position rather than a proactive position. And some of the journals also mentioned, like, why don't you just sanction Putin right now? Why do you have to wait for this to linger on? Why do you have to, like, slowly peel off the bandage rather than just like do it straight up in a much more cleaner tactical fashion. So I assume he has his own reason. But enough of my rambling. I'm not a politician. I'm not a political scientist either. So I probably don't have the right authority or the right knowledge to, explain this dynamics. But there's some just frustrations that I'm sensing from the media front, but also with respect to the financial front as well. So let's just dive into technical analysis without wasting more time. As a recording time of 2:26 p.m. on the Eastern time, you can see that clearly we broke through again, right? The two levels, right? 2362 and then 2293 was the two levels, right? And right now we're back up to ideally just in the proximity of the 26221, which again, like right, just like at the cusp of it, right? But as the market closes today at 4 p.m. on Eastern time, we ideally want to be above back up to the 2620. But if we're not, that means we're still forming a lower, level, despite that we have bought back up. But that means more bleeding is coming, right? And what worries me the most is with respect to the uncertainty that's still up in the air, right? The sanction, might be a temporary fix, but we still have to watch. And based on what Joe Biden has said, it's something that they will see how it goes, like, quote, right? He said, we'll see how it goes a month from now. But that means we collectively might have to pay for it in a financial market perspective, because ultimately investors are oftentimes looking for certainty, looking for, some level of confidence. And that level of verbiage and the tactics of it doesn't really convey confidence. So that means, it's not the most, strategic move on his part that can convey some sort of a monetary circulation back into buying activity because of lack of confidence, right? So regardless of that, the technical is still relatively oversold at 36 out of 70. At the moment right now, we don't have any signs of reversal yet, despite the rebound that we're seeing. But it seems like we might still be closing on a lower level than days before. So that technically is not a good sign, right? Just being honest with you. In respect to Bitcoin is down about 2% as well. We could see that we leaped down to one level, right? In relative speaking, Ethereum 2 levels, Bitcoin 1 level, right? To the 3,400. And right now coming back up to ideally just at the cusp of 37,500, but we're still below it, right? So what we need to do is like we have to close basically back above the 37,558 today, or in the proximity of it, but right now we're still like $1,000 below it, so that doesn't convey a lot of confidence. We're still closing on a lower level than expected. Dogecoin is down about 5.55%. You can see that we crashed down all the way, right? The 32 out of 70, so relatively oversold, completely oversold, and by then we were at the 10 cents level. We were like way below 25 out of 70, so large separation, no signs of reversal yet. Respect to Cardano is down about 4% as well, relatively oversold at the 30 out of 70, large separation as well, so no signs of reversal yet. Solana is flat at the moment. You could see that we're 39 out of 70, still relatively oversold. 87 is the current level right now because of the consolidated level that we have had formed. Right now, would I be buying now? I did buy, higher levels than this. I bought at 95. I bought at 90. I plan on doing a little bit more buying activities, knowing the fact that we're relatively depleted. But yeah, it seems like across the market, there's no really like a confirmatory signs of reversal yet. So, and with the war cultivating, the interest hikes that's cultivating, I think we might see more volatility coming. So we have to keep an eye out on it, be cautious about this. But ultimately, technical doesn't lie, right? We're still relatively at an oversold level. XRP is down about 4% at 67 right now. You can see that clearly we broke down to the ideal level that you would be dollar cost averaging at, right? Or you should be dollar cost averaging at 63 all the way to 57. Polkadot down about 3% at the 1584 right now. Anywhere from current level all the way to 14 cents is still logical at the 32 out of 70. ALGORAND down about 5%. Anywhere from current level all the way to 68 cents is still logical at 30 out of 70. Shiba Inu is coming down, ideally back to a low 2000s, right? Low 2000s, 1400, 900 from here. MagTac, anywhere from 141 to 120. Still logical. Right now, 37 out of 70. AVAX up about 1%. Again, 59 to 50. Right now, not yet. We are 45 out of 70. Luna's back up to the 62 mark, right? Again, 62, 52 to 45. So I would still prefer anywhere from 52 to 45 from here, with the 57 out of 70. So relatively overbought right now. So still lingering activity across the market. Like I think Joe Biden's speech and the sanction that's being performed on Russia right now doesn't really convey confidence. I think ultimately, the war is cultivated based on not on a defensive front, but it's like an artificial reason that Putin has created in his mind that he wants to be a world dominator, and by basically hurting a smaller country like Ukraine, which they didn't really do anything specifically, antagonist in this equation. But they are unfortunate that with Putin's agenda, they are in a vulnerable position. But the world is collectively uniting to be defending for the greater goods, right? Which is world peace, right? So this stuff definitely unfortunate. I'm quite disappointed at what's happening, and we can only get better by sticking together. So I'm right here with you, and I'm a little depressed or just a little bumped by this happening. The world's already crazy, and with all of this going on, just I don't even know what to think. But let's stay logical by using quantitative analysis, and let's not freak out. Let's just stay focused on what's in front of us, and we should get better eventually. All right, take care. Bye.